wanna go film your Raptor?
Oh, sure, let's do it.
Let's go. Say what you want about Ford Motor Company. However, one thing holds true. They can produce an icon, and that icon is the SVT Raptor, one of the great off-road vehicles Ford has produced. Now, what makes this truck so great and become a contemporary legend in the Ford off-road scene? Well, that's what we're gonna be discussing today on Ford Muscle. I'm your host, James Elkins. Now, when the Gen-1 SVT Raptor came on the scene, it was an absolute dumpster fire for global economy. You had GM and Chrysler trying to clear Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and the government had to do major bailouts. On the consumer level, you had people wanting more fuel-efficient cars, smaller cars. But behind the blue oval curtains was a 6.2-liter Boss-powered truck with off-road suspension. It's a miracle it made it from the paperwork to production, but here we are. Now, even more incredible was the fact that they started from scratch with this build. They had built Cobras, Cobra Rs, Lightnings, but an off-road truck, this is something they had to focus on: off-road suspension, reliability, and durability in an off-road setting. To do so took more than just using what they had done in the past. They had to start from scratch with this build. It's also one of the last builds that the SVT team did. This and the GT500 2014 was the end of the SVT program. Ford's marketing campaign for the Raptor was pretty simple. Win on Sunday, sell on Monday. But to prove that Ford was built Ford tough, and especially on the new platform, they created a few special models for the Baja 1000. And you know what? It worked. People saw the Raptor Rs racing through the desert and thought, well, I could buy one of those at my dealership that's almost as capable. It can handle anything I throw at it, and therefore created the new market segment of production-based off-road vehicles to this extent. Now, the success of the Gen-1 SVT Raptor didn't just happen. In fact, I remember the time and place when I first read about it. I was flipping through a magazine at the barbershop waiting my turn, and then it hit me. The SVT crew would no longer be building a Lightning, which was kind of a bummer because I was always a big fan of that one. Instead, they were building an off-road truck. Now, my off-road experience at the time was jumping tracks in an 83 F-150 or getting stuck in my 86 Bronco, so I'd never really driven a purpose-built vehicle. But Ford took all their knowledge of off-road prowess, put it into a production-based, showroom-equipped, handle anything you could almost throw at it, ready to rock version. And that took the market by storm. Nowadays, the off-road market is spoiled with TRX, ZR2, and all these other trucks. But much like the pony cars that followed the Mustang, they're essentially copycats trying to capitalize on what Ford created. Truth be told, there's nothing quite unique and special on the market as the Raptor. So Brian, tell me, you're the owner of this truck, you recently bought it, you're really enjoying it. What's your previous history with owning vehicles, just in general?
From college, I actually started buying Jeep CJ7 as a hobby, started collecting those. And since then I've pretty much we're a Jeep family. But, you know, I've also had trucks. I've had a Silverado that I put 283,000 miles on. But I don't know, I like the ruggedness of the Jeeps, but I also like the utilities of the truck and the ruggedness of the truck, so that's why I chose, to stick with trucks.
So I assume this is a much smoother ride than almost any Jeep you've owned as well.
Oh, completely. And the strength of it, I mean, just when taking off and the stability of it, I mean, it's everything that I need. And I'm not the greatest caregiver of vehicles. I'm pretty rough on vehicles, and this thing can take it for sure. This truck brings me back to being a kid again. I mean, I had a CJ7, that was my first vehicle. I wanted something fun, but now at my age, in the mid-50s, I wanted something that is fun, and this brings me back to being a kid again.
So now, do you use this truck for commuting, or you use it for work as well?
I use it for work, but primarily it's my weekend truck. I'm always doing stuff outside, working in landscaping. I'm trailing everything. I've got an RV, so I'm always doing something with it. That's how I grew up. I grew up in Texas. I grew up outside all the time, so that's pretty much what I do with it now. It's just I beat the hell out of it, really.
Nice. So you built a truck for your lifestyle, essentially. Bought a
Yes.
truck for your lifestyle.
Yes, yes, yes.
Well, Brian, thanks for letting us film your Raptor.
Yeah.
The Gen-1 is such a special place for most people's Ford's heart.
Yeah.
And this definitely is an awesome vehicle. I'm glad to
Oh
see
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah. These things are amazing.
Now I could read you off the spec sheet of what everything that comes on the Gen-1 Raptor is, including its 411 horsepower V8 engine, or the 12 plus inches of suspension travel, all the things you could read online. However, when you're buying a Raptor, you're not buying a spec sheet, you're buying a legacy. And that started with SVT and building a truck nobody had ever seen before. When everybody was downsizing, Ford expanded and blew up a new market segment of off-road performance trucks from the factory. No longer did you need to do aftermarket. It all came straight from the dealership, ready to go. So tell me, do you think the Gen-1 SVT Raptor was as revolutionary as I think it was? Let me know in the comments section. And remember, drive fast, take chances, and only gamble with your life. What kind of catchphrase is that?